Hello, welcome. We're back. Hello, I'm back. Hi. How you doing? I'm driving. Anything could happen. The car could stop, and I will cut this video off quick. I'm getting ready to go into the new house, new apartment. I'm painting, and so I'll be doing that today. But that's going to partially be kind of like family time, so I'm not going to sit and be like video but you know, I was thinking about something, and I was just thinking about some ideas today that I wanted to do, and something caught my attention, and that was worship music. And you know, it was worship music. Like, nobody really ever. Oh, there we go. So I'm just going to talk about worship music, whether it's what I think or whatever. My goal and my hope is that this encourages you to actually kind of rethink how you see music and worship music specifically, and kind of share a little bit of my background and testimony and stuff like that. So for those that don't know, I grew up kind of in the church and around church. And I grew up with a lot of more so black gospel music, and things similar to that. And it was cool. I'm like, yeah, this is worshiping Jesus music. A little bit later on, I ended up beginning to listen to more than just that. We started listening to contemporary Christian music, and I know everybody's like, contemporary Christian music sucks, and yada yada, and who cares about your opinion? You give your opinion whatever you want to say. But there was this Casting Crowns, but there at least there's one album that I heard in Casting Crowns. And there was Casting Crowns, and there was Switchfoot, if you would count that as Christian, because I don't think that at the time it was, but I could relate to a lot of the music. And so that's what it was. I related to a lot of it, and just kind of like this mystery of who God was, and then worshiping him as king, but it just didn't hit. And I don't mean like the songs weren't good. I just mean like in my spirit, in my soul, they didn't really hit like that. I know that you may see clips and videos. I don't know who this video is for, so just kind of bear with me. Whoever watches this, maybe you've seen clips and videos of people listening to worship music, and they're going off. They're popping off, Queen. They're dancing, and they're worshiping God and lifting their hands. And some are crying, and all that kind of stuff. But that really wasn't my experience with any form of any kind of Christian music. I didn't really have that experience at all for quite some time. I really didn't know what worship music was. Some people can consider it a genre. I believe that it's a lifestyle, or at least I'm learning to believe that it's a lifestyle and not just a genre that you type in to find, your favorite tunes. Shaky today. But yeah, it didn't really hit me like that for quite some time, and that's because I really didn't have an understanding. It started hitting me the more that I got into my faith, and the more it became personal, where my relationship with Jesus began to actually grow. Worship music became more personal, more realistic. That for me was a shift that happened about 4 years ago. So like before I gave my life to Christ, and before I even was trying to follow Jesus for real, some of it was just like, I was like, the contemporary worship music, you got your Bethel worship, you've got your all this kind of stuff, worship music, if that's what you call worship music. And I was just like, it's cool, it's high. But before then, I was even still trying to listen to music that glorified God. And it was really hard to find that at the time. And it still kind of is in different genres. So like metal, rock, all that kind of things. Like, it's a lot harder to find worship metal music, worship EDM music, and worship hip hop. Worship hip hop? Christian hip hop? I don't know. But there was some out there. And there was a point in period where, there was like kind of Christian hip hop that I was listening to that I was like, okay, this is cool. I can get behind this. And then there was a shift where, oh no, all hip hop is evil, so we can't listen to that. I'm like, I was just getting into it. I thought I was worshiping the Lord. All right, well, I guess it's evil. Guess I can't do it. And that, which didn't make sense to me. It didn't sit right with me in my heart. And maybe I'll tell that story later. And one of the verses I was given was, be in the world, but not of it. I'm like, okay, cool, fair enough. We don't want to look like the world. We want to look like Jesus. Oh, okay. Didn't really know what that meant at the time. But when I gave my life to Christ and was beginning to worship, things began to really change for me. Because I started really listening to the words. One of my favorite tunes is it's the song, and it's called "My Soul Longs for You, Nothing Else Will Do, You Come Like the Rain." And when I heard that, I wasn't crying, but I heard it and I was just like, whoa, that's different. Like, I've never really heard worship music like that before. I was so used to contemporary Christian music that it was very new to me. I remember, there is no one like our God. I don't know what the names of these people are. Forgive me, you may know. You can put it below or whatever. But I just remember, and I'm just like, wow, like, as I'm worshiping God, I'm just closing my eyes. I'm like, wow, this is cool. And at the time, I was worshiping with people, and it was a small group within ministry, and they were just going after it. And I'm like, you go after it like this? Like, y'all, this hard to y'all? But I was like, man, it's kind of cool. I like that y'all like this. It's cool. It wasn't my dubstep. It wasn't my, EDM stuff. This wasn't no house music, but this was something that was different, and it was moving on people. And I began slowly more and more transitioning to listen to more of that. More. And of course, when you're going to church twice a week, 3 times a week even, you will hear it more often. And so I'm just like, wow, there's more of this. Like, this is for real. Like, this is real stuff. And I'm still, to this day, there are many worship songs I don't know, hymns I don't know, that we may play and I don't really recognize like that because I didn't grow up with them. But I'm like, man, this is powerful. So I just, it transformed my life slowly but surely, because I continued to just kind of engage and I began to indulge in more worship music, and then I began to engage in more worship music. So I guess the takeaway for you today, that bump always get me. I guess the takeaway for you today, for those listening, for anybody who wants to hear and listen, I think the biggest thing for me is just like, hey, like, let's worship God for real, Let's go after Him and engage with Him. Let's do that. Let's go after God. When you turn on worship music, listen to the words and wonder, like, what is this? What is this about? Don't put it off because, this is just worship music. It's just Christian music. Like, what are they talking about? What are they saying? This stuff will really move when you actually start participating in it. Start singing the lyrics. That's why they repeat so much. Begin to sing the lyrics, or just say it. Just like, there is no one like our God. There is no one like our God. There's no one like Him. There's no one like Him. Yeah, there's no one like Him. Yeah, that's cool. Get excited about it, because it's pretty awesome. If you've never felt His presence before, worship, music, Christian music, that's one of the main ways I think that you can instantly begin to feel his presence quicker than anything else. I'm not saying it's a cheat code. I'm not saying that it'll always happen like that. Everybody's different. But for me personally, what I believe is the first place that, especially if you're a dude like me who loves music, first place that God is going to move on your life, move in the spirit, where your spirit is touched and moved, is going to be music. And since then, my life has never been the same. My ears haven't been the same either. They've been changed. So I try not to really, I hate to say try. I really don't like listening to stuff that is not glorifying God, or that's not edifying me at the very least, to go after God, which cuts out a lot of music. Stuff that's talking about crap. Like, I don't, because what we engage in, kind of what we indulge in kind of sits in us. We digest it. It entertains us. It enters us. And that's kind of what you have settling and stirring in you. So if Drake is settling in and stirring in you, then you're going to get Drake results. But if worship is settling and going into you, you're going to get worship results. And those that love the Lord worship him. Those that love God, they worship him. They go after him. And those that go after him, they feel his presence. He comes. He pulls up every time. Pulls up every time. So, I don't know. If you are somebody who's maybe an atheist, a non-believer, an agnostic, whatever. I didn't mean the quotation on agnostic. I meant to do that in atheist because I don't believe in atheists. But maybe you're any of that. You can label yourself whatever you want to. Be intentional and actually listen to some worship music and really engage. Really walk along and sing along with the lyrics. Really go with it. Really begin to introspect in it. And I have a hope and a faith that God will move in that, and you'll feel his presence. You'll feel something and be like, whatever that was, it was peaceful, it was joyful, I want it again. And go after it again and again and again and again. And I do believe that's a way that God will reveal himself to you. So music's pretty powerful. So see you later. Peace, bye. God bless you. Have a great day. Put on some worship music. I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages you. Like, subscribe. What else am I supposed to say?